pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. So he's hungry. This famine's going throughout the country, and he's working with pigs. And basically his life has turned 180 from living lavish to basically being in poverty. So when he finally came to his senses, he decides to come back to his dad. And he's like, he runs to his dad, and he's thinking in his head, how is my dad going to ever forgive me? I've done these horrible things. I've taken his money for advantage. And so it says right here, Father, I've sinned against heaven and against you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired men. So he's basically doing anything. That was his prayer. That's what he wanted to happen. And this is kind of the verse I want to read to you guys. It's Luke 15:20, and it says, "But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. And he ran to his son. He threw his arms around him and kissed him." And for me, in my life, I've been to the lowest of lows, just with things that have happened in my life. And I was at a point, I've been at points in my life where I'm a twin brother, and my dad is gone a lot, and I've taken advantage of some things. And I can't, it's hard for me to express how crazy this is, to think about me doing something this insane and my dad being there, at the end of the door right there, and just him being like this after I am just filthy and dirty, and I had been say I had been binging all night and spending his money to just buy horrible things. And his dad didn't act bad towards that at all. He was willing to have his arms open. And it's funny because that's the way Jesus is with us. No matter where we've been in our life, he's always waiting there for you with his arms open, ready to give you the biggest hug and the biggest kiss on the cheek that you'll ever get from anybody. Anyways, this was after he went to his dad, and he goes, "Father, I've sinned against you and against heaven. I'm no longer worth to be called your son." But then his dad, he goes and he says this. He says, "Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf to kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For the son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." So they began to celebrate. So not only did his dad recognize the fact that his son had ran away and then he forgave him, but he takes all this time. The fattened calf, I don't know if you guys know anything about this, but back then they would keep a calf and they would basically just keep it until the most important thing, or the thing they would celebrate the most. And his dad went as far as to say, put a robe on his back, kill the fattened calf so they can feast on it, and that's a huge deal. After that, basically, his brother's still there. He's going on, and the servant goes, "Your brother came back, and they're throwing a celebration for him." And the brother just gets livid, just "I've been doing all this stuff for you, Dad, and you're going to go kill the fattened calf for my brother who's basically betrayed you and our family?" So it goes on to say, it basically starts talking about how his dad came to him pleading to the older son, basically, to not be upset. And he says, the son says, "Look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when the son of yours has squandered your property with prostitutes, comes home, you kill the fattened calf for him." And this has an exclamation point at the end. I wasn't giving that just. He was PO'd, man, just going crazy. So his dad says this, and this is very, it speaks a lot to me. He says, "My son," the father said, "you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad, because the brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." And for me, I've kind of, the last couple years, found myself in positions with friends where they're struggling, and I'm very prideful, and sometimes I get even selfish to the point where I'm like, it's my God and it's my Jesus, when like I don't know how I can even say that. Like he died on a cross, like for me, but also for everybody. And so, I mean, he's telling his son that, you know, your brother was dead and he's alive again. We need to celebrate this moment, because just like Jesus, we're all caught into the kingdom of heaven. And he says to us, hey, like, I'm here for you. And every time someone commits their life to Jesus, there's a party up in heaven. They're celebrating. They're having the fattened calf. But I mean, just like in Luke 15:20, like, Jesus is waiting for you. He's got his arms open, and he's ready to give you the biggest hug. You just got to take those steps and accept him into your heart. No matter how many times you fail, no matter how many times you turn your back on your dad, he's still going to be there with open arms, ready to bring you in. And just like me, we've all been the younger brother. We've all been filled with our own sin. But God's always there for you, and he's always knocking on the door of your heart. So if you're ready to make that commitment tonight and you want to talk to somebody, there's tons of leaders here, Andy, Angelin. Even if you just want to talk to me about anything, just feel free. So that's all I have tonight. I'm going to close this in prayer real quick. Hey God, we just want to thank you for this night. I want to thank you for friends and for an amazing year that you gave to us, Lord. I pray for the summer and that it brings hope and fun and good friends. And God, I thank you for coming, dying, and then rising again, Lord. And I thank you for the friendships that we've made over the last year, and that you have positioned us in the place that we are and given us a place to come and celebrate you with our friends and have a good laugh. God, in your precious Son's name, amen.